Hi, welcome along to AFTV. We're down here at the Emirates to preview the game, Arsenal versus Aston Villa. It's been a fantastic start for Arsenal, not a very good start for Aston Villa. And this is another game that the fans will be looking at, the pundits will be looking at, everybody will be looking at and saying, we'll get a win here, but we can't take them lightly. They've got a very good side.
They have got a very good side, Robbie. I mean, you look at some of the names, they got even like that's Konsa, Coutinho. I was a big fan of Jacob Ramsey. He's there. Matty Cash, Ings, Watkins. There's
Buendia.
Oh, yeah.
Martinez, of course, he used to be in goal for, who said he'd gone off because a bigger club. How's that working out? But anyway.
and I must say, listen, in our last preview, we spoke about Leno returning to the Emirates. I had a bit of a joke, Watson said a legend. He's not a legend, but to me, I've loved Leno. But also Callum Chambers returning as well to the Emirates as well. So
they've got a good side. It's been a bit baffling with Aston Villa as to how come they've had such a poor start to the season. You know, Steven Gerrard as well, the manager. A lot of people thought that he'd really do big things. They backed him with signings, and it's kind of fallen flat. I mean, he did brilliantly at Rangers, but it's just not working out for him at the moment for Aston Villa, and they come here under a lot of pressure. If they lose this game, I mean, I've already seen him being put forward as the favourite to be sacked. If they lose this game, they then got Man City after that. I mean,
he's under pressure. He's under a lot of pressure. I mean, they're currently sitting in 15th, and obviously we're top of the league. Sitting in 15th, he hasn't had a great run. I think they've won only one game and lost the rest. So not good start at all. And listen, I'm quite favourable. I think Arsenal going to do well against Aston Villa. Obviously, last year we did the double against them. They didn't get a point against us. We took all 6 points. And then before that, though, I don't think you remember back in lockdown where we lost to them a few times, the 3-0 where Grealish was there and he absolutely took the mick out of us. But
I remember a very famous video, right here at the Emirates when Chris Hodgson absolutely lost it right at the start of the season. That was a loss to Aston Villa. Right here at the Emirates. So they are capable of it, but if Arsenal are on song, we're supposed to win this game. I mean, they lost away in their first game to Bournemouth.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And we dealt with Bournemouth pretty easily. You saw what Liverpool done to them at the weekend. They lost to Bournemouth. I mean, this is a big opportunity for Arsenal to go 5 games unbeaten. Yeah,
no, I know you spoke about as well, quickly, you spoke about some of their players, how strong their side can be, but we look at some of our players as well. We look at Martin Odegaard. I remember he was linked to Buendia, and I was kind of advocating having Buendia here. I know you were like, really? Buendia? But do you know what? You seem to be right. You seem to be right, because Martin Odegaard is obviously the star of the show right now at Arsenal. Obviously, captain the performance against Fulham was superb in that game. Honestly, you've really seen him really settle into this Arsenal side and lead the way. So that's someone I'll be looking at come Wednesday as well. And like you say, Callum Chambers returning back to the Emirates. I'll be looking at how our attack are going to deal with him. Gabriel Jesus, I'm sure we should be able to touch wood, deal with him. But yeah, man, we've got some good talent.
Well, if we're looking at it, right, their danger player, who would you have down as their danger player? The player that you look at and say, right, this is the guy that worries me the most out of their team.
Do you know what? This is a tricky one, because like we went through their players, I said they got some players to name, but I'm going to go with the striker, and this is a little bit of, I was with him not too long ago, Ollie Watkins, and he seemed very focused when I was body dubbing him. I saw him and I was speaking, and he seemed very focused on this season, and he actually did start the season quite well. I think he looks very well, physicality wise, he's holding the ball off very well. Yes, Aston Villa haven't been getting the results that they expect, but I think Ollie Watkins is a problem. I remember it was kind of linked to him, that name was floating around. I wasn't too happy with that, but now since the start of this season, I think he has been their standout.
Yeah, he was the one when they came here and they did get that win during lockdown.
He got two
He
goals,
was the one who sort of bullied us up, but that was before the arrival of William Saliba. And you know what I mean, and that's going to be an interesting battle if he does start, because that's the thing. You know what I mean, sometimes he goes with Ings, sometimes he goes with with Ollie Watkins. It's who he goes with. I think that's one of Steven Gerrard's problems, is he doesn't know what his best team is. He's got a lot of very good players, Liam Bailey. Does he start with him? You know what I mean? He's got all these good players and he doesn't know what his best team is. But if he does start with Watkins, and I kind of suspect that he might try and go with that to try and get him behind.
Do you think they'll try and come bully us? Do you think that might be their game plan? I feel like teams keep
I don't know what their game plan is going to be. I don't think the bullying thing's going to work because, as I said, now with the 2 centre backs in there of Saliba and Gabriel, they can cope with that. They can cope with that. You've got Ben White, who can play over as well now on that right-hand side, as an added, protection there.
Yeah.
I really think that, we can cope with that. I think the most interesting thing for me is going to be what the Arsenal team's going to be.
Yeah, team news obviously.
Do we rest players? You know what I mean? It's going to be very interesting to see, because this is the first time now that we're going to have effectively 2 games within a week. We've got the game, of course, on Wednesday night, and then they followed it up at a big game at the weekend against Manchester United. Now, this is just me guessing it. I just got a feeling that it might be a similar team to what we saw on Saturday. I don't think he'll play Zinchenko, because I think he wants Zinchenko for that game against Man United.
He did mention
and I don't think he's going to risk Partey either. So it might be El Neni in there again. So they might try and look on it and say, right, they could try and get at us in the midfield area without Partey in there. But then El Neni, he did well at the weekend. Yeah. He's a different type of player to Partey. You're not going to get him breaking the lines and driving forward. But he just sort of sat there and was just a bit more disciplined. So it's going to be interesting, but changes. There's even been some suggestions that it could be a start for even Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah, and he's done really well. He's done really well here at the Emirates against Fulham. He changed it.
With Villa as well. Do they make changes?
They got
Man City following that up next at home. They won't want to lose a home game, but then that's a tough game. I mean, and then they just need a win. So
are we overlooking this game, Robbie? Are you thinking that Mikel Arteta, like you said there, he did mention that Zinchenko was very precautionary. It's very light injury, but he wants to protect him. Are you worried that we're looking ahead to Man United too much? Or are you thinking,
no,
it's still going to be. I think it still might be a tough test.
Yeah, I'm not. Of course, it's going to be a tough test. When you look at the quality of the players they've got, there's no way you can underestimate Aston Villa. When you look at the fact that at the moment they're in a bad way, right? Yeah. They can't buy a win. If they come here, even if they get a draw, that would be a big result for them. Coming to Arsenal unbeaten and getting a draw, that'd be massive for them, right? So we can't overlook them, right? I just get the feeling that Arsenal is so confident at the moment that they will leave back some of those players for that game. Why risk Thomas Partey? Because that United game, I feel, is a big game for Arsenal. Because people are looking on it and saying, all right, fair enough, you've beaten Bournemouth and you've beaten Fulham. What are you going to do when you go to United? So I think that's going to be in the manager's head. But I think the beauty of this season is that Arsenal still capable of putting out a very strong team. Are they going to rest, again, somebody like a Martinelli? Could Saka be rested as well? Yeah. I think these are going to be the interesting things for me, because Saka wasn't blistering at the weekend. He still had an effect. Yeah. He had an assist in the game, but do you rest Saka? Should we bring him, say...
Do we see Marquinhos play? Do we see Fabio Vieira step in?
I don't think see a Marquinhos, but I think maybe a Fabio Vieira, and I think Emil Smith-Rowe. Yep. I wouldn't be surprised to see Emil Smith-Rowe start this game. He hasn't started yet this season. I wouldn't be surprised to see him start. I wouldn't be surprised to see Fabio Vieira get minutes. Yeah. But I don't think we can take it lightly. We can't take it lightly, because we want to keep that momentum going. We want to go into that United game with a win.
Yeah, that's the ideal. I
do see changes.
You do?
I do see changes in this game. And I'm just going to, off my head now, the changes that I'm thinking of is the same two that we saw at the weekend, in that no Partey, no Zinchenko.
Yep.
And I think Smith-Rowe's going to come in. I think Smith-Rowe's going to come in maybe for a Martinelli, or maybe we could even see Eddie Nketiah come in.
Really, for Jesus though?
Not for Jesus, but come in and start either on the right or left-hand side.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me to see that.
I wouldn't be surprised if I see him go with that shape that he went with towards the end in the second half against Fulham, that with the two up top, of Eddie and Gabriel Jesus, both in the same team that's mentioned there. Maybe not on the left, but more as a two, because maybe he wants to get the game killed off early, get the goals, and start rotating players and giving players a rest.
But certainly this is going to be a very hard game for Villa.
Who's the player you're keeping an eye on, Robbie, like for Arsenal? I know you spoke about for Aston Villa. Who's
our danger player again is Jesus for me. He's on form. He didn't score at the weekend, so... he wants to get on the score sheet. He wants to score goals. So I think he's going to be hungry to get on the score sheet. And I think the Villa defence can be got at. Yeah. Definitely can be got at. And I feel that Jesus is going to be the man for us in that game. So I'm looking at Jesus and thinking, if he starts this game, I'm looking at goals for Jesus in this game. It's a very confident Arsenal at the moment. It's a very settled Arsenal, and if we can get a win, you know what would be great for me, right? Is that, you know, that game comes and just before that, we've made a big signing before the end of that transfer window. Or it's rumoured that somebody big is coming in, which again lifts the fans up a notch just before that game. That'd be fantastic for me. But Jesus is the man for me.
Definitely. What a feeling it was when I was over in Orlando and we saw Zinchenko next to Edu, and I had a feeling when we saw them there.
Yeah.
So that's
so it gives you a lift.
It does. We were
gives
buzzing.
You a lift.
It was
so
absolutely buzzing.
It'd be great to see maybe a Pedro Neto. Right? a Pedro Neto.
Sat in the Emirates.
or even just knowing that he's on his way or something like that with, you know, getting the fans buzzing. But anyway,
go on.
Predictions. Let's get predictions in.
I'm going with, I predicted 3-1 last time. It was 2-1. I'm going to go with 4-0 Arsenal.
4-0? Jesus.
4-0 Arsenal.
You really don't rate Villa, do you?
No, I'm not. Listen, I haven't had a great
4-0.
start. The only way that'll be different is if Arteta uses this game as like a trial for the Europa League. He might put a Europa League team out.
No.
Do you not think?
No.
This is a good trial before we get into it.
It's no Europa League. This is the Premier League and it's serious. It won't be no Europa League team.
Who are you going with for score prediction?
I'm going 4-0. I think that's a bit ambitious. We did put 3 past them last year.
They lost to Bournemouth.
And at that time, we weren't even doing great. I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0 to Arsenal. I would love to see us keep a clean sheet as well going ahead of that Old Trafford game. I'm going to go 2-0 to Arsenal. It's a very confident Arsenal team at the moment, playing a team that's, you know, very low on confidence, and I think we'll get the job done. What do you guys think out there? Give us your comments. Let us know what you think the starting lineup is going to be. That's going to be very interesting, as I said. Very interesting what the starting lineup is going to be when you consider there is another game on the Sunday at Old Trafford. What team are Arsenal going to go with? Give us your prediction. Maybe Sambi Lokonga could make a start as well. You never know. Let us know in the comments below. But thanks for watching this preview. It's Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Wednesday night here at the Emirates. Let's get the win. Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.